What is up, guys? Now, apologies for the lack of videos over the past few days, but I did plan to do this one as my next one. So this is going to be my PS4 game collection. It was requested by someone in one of my previous videos in the comments, so I thought why not do that as well. So I've actually got quite a decent collection. I think there's about 18 or 19 games here in physical form, and then I'll show you what I've got downloaded on my PS4 as well. So without further ado, we'll crack straight on with it. So it's kind of in order of like from most recent, and then towards the end is the older games. So most recent one here is The Order 1886. I'm still playing this at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. Definitely recommend that one to anyone. Don't believe the reviews. Definitely check it out before you kind of slate it really and palm it off, because it is a decent game. Next up, Far Cry 4. Very big fan of the Far Cry games. I've talked about this in previous videos, so I won't mention it too much, but again, I do still need to get back to that. Haven't finished it. I will be playing this again after The Order. Next up in my backlog of games as well is The Wolf Among Us. Big fan of the Walking Dead Telltale games, so I was so happy to get this one as well. Definitely can't wait to check this out. Looks brilliant, and I've heard really good things as well, so it's The Wolf Among Us. Got Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, big fan of that one as well. Took a few years off Call of Duty, and then I felt like this Call of Duty was the time to get back in it, and I felt like that was the right decision to do, because I do really enjoy that one. FIFA 15 is kind of what I play whenever I've got nothing else to play. I'm very bored. I always play FIFA. It's always kind of there. Big fan of Ultimate Team as well, so I'm a big Ultimate Team player, so that's why I always get the FIFA games. WWE 2K15, as you all know, I'm a big wrestling fan. I am actually going to Monday Night Raw in a couple of weeks as well here in London, just to chuck that out there. A big fan of this game as well. I do like what 2K Games did with the series, so it's a really good game to have, that one. The Evil Within. Now, as you all know, I do like my horror games, but this one is very tough, and I have actually kind of strayed away from it. I haven't completed this. I do need to get back to it. It is in the list. It's in the list of games to play in my backlog, so I will eventually get back into this, but it is a scary game. It's a tough game as well, one of the hardest games I've played in a long time. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, and now this is another game that I kind of strayed away from. There was that kind of period at the end of last year where all of these games came out at the same time, so this kind of got forgotten about a little bit, but it is a fantastic game and I do need to get back into it. So again, I will be playing that one quite soon. Watch Dogs, I need to finish that. There's so many, that all these games in this sort of era are the ones that I didn't finish. I do need to finish Watch Dogs. Admittedly, it's not as good as kind of the trailers and everything hyped it up to be, but I still enjoy it. It's a good game. I kind of forgotten the storyline, if I must be honest, but I will go back and finish Watch Dogs eventually, but probably not anytime soon. Assassin's Creed Unity, loved that game. I've spoken about this in my previous videos. I do love that game. Despite all the bugs and glitches, I felt like once it had been fixed, it was a very good, solid Assassin's Creed game, so big fan of that one. Walking Dead Season 1 and Walking Dead Season 2. I did play Season 1 on the PS3, and then I wanted to get Season 1 and then eventually play Season 2 on the PS4. So glad I did that. I do much prefer having the actual disc of all of the episodes instead of downloading them individually when they were released, because I want to play them all in one go instead of waiting in between each episode. So I'm glad I did that. So that's Season 1 or 2 of The Walking Dead. I've got the collector's edition of Infamous Second Son. It came with the beanie hat from Delson Rowe as well, and a special sort of cover as well. Really enjoyed that game. It feels like a long time ago that I played it now. It must have been about a year, I'd imagine. But I was a big fan of this game. I do enjoy it. I know some people weren't the biggest fan, but I thought that was sort of the first game to really show off the PS4 and what it can do, really. So I'm a big Infamous fan anyway, so I'm going to be keeping that one in my collection. We've got The Last of Us Remastered. You have to have that game, really. It's probably the best game from the previous gen, so you've got to get that, really, just so I can always go back and play it, always go back and experience arguably the greatest the greatest game of the last generation. Huge Last of Us fan. Everyone's played this game. I don't really need to talk about it too much more. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You may remember a video I did about a year or so ago saying that that the Spider-Man game series is probably my guilty pleasure gaming series. I do always enjoy the Spider-Man games, so that's why I had to pick this one up. It was no mistake on this one as well. I do enjoy Spider-Man games, even though they're never really reviewed well, they never really go down that well, and they're always forgotten about. But for me, I personally enjoy them every time I play it, so that's why I got that. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Now, big Assassin's Creed fan, I don't really need to mention it too much. This was one of the games I got on launch day with the PS4. Killzone Shadowfall. Now, believe it or not, I still haven't played this. Now, I got this on launch day. I've only played a little bit of the multiplayer. I haven't touched the single player yet. That's because when the PS4 came out, I went straight onto Assassin's Creed. And then other games started to come out, and then I just didn't play it. I didn't get around to it, but I will. I think I must be the only person who owns a PS4 that Killzone Shadowfall is still in my backlog of games when it was a launch title, so I do still need to get back into that. I know it was kind of short apparently. I'm a big Killzone fan anyway, so I don't know why I haven't played it. So I will eventually. And then finally, just to show it off, we've got FIFA 14. I don't know why I've still got that. It won't ever get played again. It's just in my collection to make it look bigger. And that's about it for the physical games, really. So we'll move on. I'll show you what I've got downloaded on my PS4. Okay, so we go through the list of games on there. So we've got Contrast, which was a free PlayStation Plus game back in the early days of the PS4. Very good little indie game. I do recommend that one. Don't Starve, which I think I played once, really. It's not really my kind of thing, but I only downloaded it because it was free. Again, another free PlayStation Plus game was Dust and Elysian Tale. That's a good little game. I've played a little bit of that. It's quite a good game, really, especially for free, when it was free anyway. Kind of flew under everyone's radar, really, and came out of nowhere, especially for me. I literally only knew about it because a lot of people were talking about it because it was free. It's like a side-scroller action game, but it's got kind of RPG elements in there as well, which it does make it unique, so I would recommend that game. What else have we got there? I did have Lego Marvel Superheroes, but I've played that and I did sell that back in last year at some point. That was a good game. PT, the demo, of course, that horrifying game. If you want to see me playing that, I do have a full playthrough of it on my channel. If you just go back through my videos and find that, it will be there. I got Outlast again. I'm a big fan of horror games, so I had to download Outlast. Oddworld New and Tasty is free on PlayStation Plus this month, so I have downloaded it. I will be playing it soon. I'm looking forward to playing that because I was a big fan of Abe back on the PS1, so I will be looking forward to giving that a play. Plants vs Zombies, I think that was free a couple of months ago, so I haven't played that at all. I only downloaded it because it's free, but I know it's popular, so maybe I'll get around to that one day. Still got Resogun on there, of course that was free back on launch with the PS4. We have, again this month is free as well, Valiant Hearts: The Great War. Now I did look at this before it was free. I was actually intrigued to buy this when it wasn't free on PlayStation Plus, so I will be playing that very soon. Looking forward to playing that. And yeah, I think that's it for my downloaded games. So yeah, guys, that's my PS4 game collection. It's getting there. There's about 18-19 games, and then if you include the downloaded ones, I've got about 20 odd games now for the PS4. So I'm starting to build that little collection up now. Let me know what you guys think of my collection, and let me know kind of what games you're playing at the moment as well. How many you reckon you've got in your collection now? Because it's getting there. It's getting there. It took a while for the next gen to get going, but now I think it's fully solidified itself now. I've got a good solid library of about 25 games, so that's only going to get bigger over the next few months. So let me know what you thought of this video, guys. Thank you for watching as usual, and yeah, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you on my next video.